President Trump firing the acting attorney general last night for refusing to defend his temporary ban on some immigrants. Sally Yates was an Obama administration holdover in place until Mr. Trump's nominee, Jeff Sessions, is approved. The White House issuing a strongly worded statement. The acting attorney general, Sally Yates, has betrayed the Department of Justice by refusing to enforce a legal order designed to protect the citizens of the United States. Jay Sekulow is chief counsel at the American Center for Law and Justice and author of Unholy Alliance, the agenda Iran, Russia, and jihadists share for conquering the world. Good to see you, Jay. So what do you make of everything that has played out to this moment?
So I think, look, the president had no choice. You had an acting attorney general of the United States that tried to become judge, jury, and prosecutor. She made a determination not based on the law, but based on a moral view that she disagreed with this particular executive order. And the fact of the matter is, whether you agreed with the executive order or not, I happen to think it was right. The attorney general's job is to defend laws of the United States, and she doesn't get to determine this on her own. And by the way, the underlying fact here, which not a lot of people are reporting, you all have, which is great, is that the Office of Legal Counsel, both within the Department of Justice and the Office of Legal Counsel inside the White House, both approved of both the substance and the form of that executive order. So the fact is that Sally Yates was grandstanding. She was politicizing it. In my view, she completely really ignored her oath of office, and it was good that she got fired.
Did she betray the Justice Department, as the White House said?
Yeah, I think she did. And I'll say this because how in the world can the Attorney General of the United States do what she did? Make an announcement, I'm not going to defend an order of the President of the United States, when the President of the United States had the constitutional authority to issue that order. So this isn't where sometimes the Department of Justice will confess error in a case when they've talked to the executive or they've talked to Congress. Here she did this on her own. This was a unilateral decision on her part. She now paid the consequence of it. She's been terminated, which is exactly what the president had to do.
Jay, I want to reflect on this exchange that we saw back in 2015, the exchange between Sally Yates and Jeff Sessions, which was very telling for what has happened now. Watch this.
Yeah.
Do you think the Attorney General has a responsibility to say no to the President if he asks for something that's improper?
Senator, I believe that the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General has an obligation to follow the law and the Constitution and to give their independent legal advice to the President.
That was March of 2015, Jay.
Yep. Yeah. And her answer was fine. But she didn't do that. She didn't give her advice to the President. She refused to defend an order of the executive order from the president that had already been signed off by the Justice Department and the White House. So, you know, I understand that in the context of what she was asked by Senator Sessions, soon to be Attorney General Sessions, and by the way, if he was confirmed, it would have eliminated all of this nonsense. But the fact is, there's been some obstruction. He will be confirmed. She had the authority to answer the question the way she did. It was fine, but that was not what she did. What she did was not just advise the president of no. She said, I've instructed the Department of Justice not to defend that. She doesn't get to do it.
And we just had a pretty feisty exchange at the White House in the briefing room. Sean Spicer did say she failed on her duties. Let's talk.